Part of the journey is the end, and for today, it's the end of LCR Season 5. We're here for the Brazilian Grand Prix. My name is LCR Apex, joined alongside me is TOR Smith88. We're here at the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache, a 2.67 mile circuit with 15 corners, 10 to the left and 5 to the right. 36 laps await the driver with 2 detection zones for DRS and 2 activation zones. This is a race that's been held in every single season of LCR so far and has brought up amazing classics. Tile selection for this race is the super softs, the softs and the mediums, with the inters and the wets just in case we need them. We just had an excellent qualifying session. I say excellent, it was partially raining so we did 1 lap each, but either way, LCR Mulder was the man of the hour as he qualified on pole position, with VSR Dralex, the championship leader, lining up alongside him. LCR Leopard in 3rd place. He needs to win this race if he wants to win the championship. LK is in 4th, coming back to help VSR Dralex win the team championship, hopefully. Boris Letterbox challenging for the team championship in that Renault in 5th place. KLC Gianni in 6th in the Red Bull, with 7th being King Liam 25 in the other Renault, heading VSR Amaze in the other Red Bull. TOR Pepsi in his final LCR outing is in the Toro Rosso in 9th. LCR Hayden in 10th, Waystall is the first driver outside the top 10 in 11th, British Revenge in 12th, Callum Teasdale in 13th, and LCR Visualize in 14th, failing to set a lap time in the session, rounds out the grid. And, well, this is going to be pretty much the race we've been waiting for all season. The season finale has come down to this, VSR Dralex versus LCR Leopard and Smithy. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, I'm even quite nervous and I'm not even racing. Like, that's how I feel about it right now. It's literally, like last week showed, literally anything can happen in LCR. And obviously, I can't come to imagine what these two guys are feeling under their helmets, because it's literally within touching distance. Like you say, Leopard has to win, and all Dralex has to do is just finish in front of Leopard, or hope that Leopard doesn't win. So it's an intriguing race and definitely one that everyone needs to. I'd go and get a cup of tea, or very quickly, in fact, because we're just coming around to form the end of the formation lap, and just sit back and relax and enjoy the action, really, because you're going to be in for an absolute treat.
As we mentioned, Leopard must win this race if he wants to be absolutely safe for the championship. If Leopard finishes 2nd, then all Dralex needs to do is finish 4th. It's a 7-point gap heading into this race, as a whole array of drivers are just taking their merry old time to get to the grid as we're getting ready for this 5 red lights. But Mulder on pole position once again this point in the season. Can he translate it into a race win? Can he upset Leopard today? Who will walk out LCR World Champion if we get ready for the 5 red lights? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and for the final time, LCR Season 5 is off in Brazil. It's a bit of a slow start as they head up towards the hill, but LCR Mulder stays ahead just fine. As Dralex, is he going to try and move down the inside? He does stay ahead of Leopard, but Leopard tries to go around the outside. Can he get the move done on VSR Dralex? It looks like it's going to be tight, but yes he does, as VSR Dralex has to run a little bit off the track. But LCR Leopard's already got the move done, already moved up to 2nd. Gianni's moved up to 4th, that's LK's dropped to 5th, and Boris Letterbox has dropped to 6th. But now we look down to turn number 4, and it looks like Mulder's leading the race nice and calm, ahead of, with the clear traffic ahead of him. And there's changes all up and down the field as Drizzle's Revenge has unfortunately dropped to the back, and it's close heading into the double right-hander with cars going side by side, left, right and centre, with LK and Gianni going side by side. But beautiful job avoiding each other. Can Gianni just squeeze him out and get the job done as they go through the long left-hander in the middle sector? Yes he does, but he pushes LK off onto the grass, which is going to leave him vulnerable to the Renault of Boris Letterbox's King Liam. And now VSR Amaze going side by side as Amaze goes down the inside, down the hairpin in the middle sector, but King Liam manages to hold the position. It's LCR Mulder leading LCR Leopard, leading VSR Dralex, but VSR Dralex is not letting Leopard go as he's right on his gearbox as we end the lap 1.
Wow, what a great move by Leopard there. He knew he needed to get this done, and obviously he's got to get past LCR Mulder now. He knows he's got to win. He's got to win this race if he wants to win the championship. But obviously, like you say, Dralex is sticking to him like glue so far. Dralex will be watching his every move. This is probably not a bad place to be for Dralex. He can save his tyres a little bit, save his ERS, all of this, and just hang behind Leopard and just bide his time. Just a few notes down the grid. Brilliant start from LCR Visualize. He's managed to make up 3 places. As Waystall has just, Waystall has just got past King Liam and Pepsi there. I think King Liam might have had a moment. But always King Liam tries to stick his nose in against Waisel there, but just showing Waisel he's there. And obviously just heading this train is ESR Maze. We've got a train of about, I'm pretty sure that's 7th to 14th, all in one train headed by Amazed.
There we go, yeah. So, of course, just to quickly mention, as we do have split attention a little bit here, Mulder is on the super soft tyres, which could put him under pressure, not only through Leopard when his tyres start wearing down, but also in terms of strategy. In fact, Leopard's all over the back of him, already set the fastest lap. Is he going to try it around the outside of LCR Mulder? Mulder manages to hold it around the inside just about, but Leopard has the inside line going through turn 2. And yes, LCR Leopard is into the lead of the race. He's into the lead of the championship, but Mulder is going to have pressure from VSR Dralex behind. Is he going to try to shift it to the inside into turn 4? Yes, he is, but is he going to try to move? Yes, he does. Down the inside of LCR Mulder, VSR Dralex gets by, and he's not letting his rival out of his sight. But as it stands right now, the championship will end tied, and Leopard will walk away champion on countback.
Wow, Dralex, that was bold by him. We've said, but me and Nuthead have said before in previous races, he's been a bit cautious at times, but he knew he had to get the move done there. Mulder had a bit of a dodgy run out of turn 2 as he went wide, because obviously Leopard forced him wide after making that move, and Dralex knew he had to get the move done if he's got any chance to keep with Leopard. It's going to be interesting now to see if he can keep with Leopard, but
now the stage
we'll keep an eye on that one.
Now the stage has been set, I don't see any way Leopard's going to let his confidence or his concentration slip here. We've got a battle for the lead in the final round of the season to determine the LCR World Champion, but obviously that's not the only thing going on. Is Waisel is catching up on the back of VSR Maze. He's been on absolute charge lately. Goes down the inside. Is he going to get the move done into turn 1? Yes, as they go into braking. Maze is going to try coming back on him, but Waisel manages to come off beautifully, and King Liam nearly loses it in the background, but manages to keep his car straight. I believe Boris Letterbox also was battling Gianni. Boris Letterbox, I think, stays ahead, but Maze going back down the inside of turn 4. He runs Waisel out a little bit wide, but he managed to keep it on the track, keep it clean. Pepsi battling LCR Visualize. Visualize drops down in another position. Is Waisel going to come back around the outside of Amaze through the double right-hander? He isn't quite able to. Amaze blocks him off, beautifully. And to be honest, amazing battling going on between the pair of them. They should keep this up. This is really good.
Yeah, sorry. I was actually on board with a different battle there. I was watching as LCR Hayden swept around the outside of Visualize up to the top of the hill. That was a brilliant move by Hayden, and he's now right on the back of 2R Pepsi. He's now leading this train for the final championship point. Visualize has a massive moment, absolutely huge moment. Oh, thankfully, Drizzit's Revenge and Callum both managed to miss that as Leopard sets the fastest lap.
Waisel and Maze going at it once again. Waisel getting it done DRS without needing to do it into turn 1. Waisel gets a time penalty, but Hayden is now defending against Pepsi. These two once again battling. Obviously, former race winners at Brazil. Hayden won it in season 3. Pepsi won it in season 4. Will Leopard win it in season? No, sorry. Pepsi won it in season 2. Will Leopard win it in season 5, just as he did in season 4. Waisel, I think, just got past. No, King Liam just got past Amaze. Sorry.
Yeah, King Liam just got past Amaze there down the straight. Yeah, Amaze was compromised going onto the straight, and he's got a nice run. Just to note, we will keep. I am keeping an eye on what's happening up front, but it's pretty much a steady gap at half a second so far. There's not really much between them, but we'll keep on board with all the battling that's happening further down the field, because there's lots of battles going on. Just to note, there's a couple of guys who are on the medium tyre, Boris and Gianni, who are currently P5 and P6 respectively, as Dralex now sets the fastest lap. There you go, he's dropped, he's still staying around just under half a second. So it's going to be, as we probably expected, there's going to be not much between them, like there has been pretty much all of this season. So it's going to be, I could see it coming down right to the end as TOR Pepsi gets a 3-second time penalty. I think King Liam is, Waisel.
I think Waisel
tried to make the move on King Liam. Yeah, I thought, I'm trying to stay on board. There's a lot of action going on.
There's a lot of things to keep track of. One thing to notice as well, I just had a quick glance at penalties. They both have one warning each up the front. I'm going to try and keep an eye, but penalties will rack up this race, as LCR Hayden will tell you. He won the Season 3 Brazilian Grand Prix purely on penalties.
I was aboard with Boris Letterbox, so he had a little bit of a moment as he went down
Johnny
the hairpin, and
down
he's
the
got
inside,
Johnny
yes, he
all
will.
over. Johnny, great move by Johnny. Oh, squeezed him out. Oh, Boris just managed to hold his ground. Johnny just couldn't quite get the traction out of that corner, and Boris holds onto the position. I think Dralex is being quite clever here. He knows as long as he can stay within that second, he's losing more time than in the middle sector. That's where Leopard's gaining all his time, but then on the straights, he's obviously gaining it all back with DRS. And you've got to think he'll be able to save all his ERS and save his tyres a little bit staying behind Leopard. Whereas,
Danny on the back of Boris Letterbox. Sorry to interrupt, just trying around
go.
the outside. He's got DRS as they go down into turn 1. Boris Letterbox going to try to stick around the outside, broke as late as he could, but Johnny does manage to get that position away from him. Down the inside through turn 2. Is Boris Letterbox going to come back? Of course, he'll have DRS now. As Johnny goes defensive on the inside, he's going to leave the door wide open on the outside for Boris Letterbox. Maybe he could try for a switch back. The space is very thin. He doesn't need a switch back. Boris Letterbox is going to try around the outside, but Johnny manages to keep it in the inside beautifully. Can he block him off into the double left-hander? There's a slight bit of contact, but reduced damage. They should both get away with that, as they are both slowly starting to catch up to LK, so that's going to be one to keep an eye on, as Callum Deasdale and Drizzt's Revenge are also battling, and they are actually battling very hard as they go side by side through turn 5. Can they keep it side by side going through the double right-hander? It looks like they might, but the Williams of Callum Deasdale just manages to squeeze ahead through the double right-hander and manages to stay ahead through the hard right-hander following on from that. So there's battles just everywhere. Like, I think the only driver who has nothing going on right now is LCR Mulder. Because even LK has drivers starting to peep into his rear view mirrors, so you can't sleep in this race.
As
No one can sleep.
LK is the first person to pit. He comes into the pit after 8 laps on his well, 9 laps, sorry, onto his. He goes onto the soft compound tyre, as Boris is now still all over the back of Johnny. Just one thing to mention about these two: they are on the medium tyre. So their tyres are just going to get better and better as we're only on lap 10 now. They're not in the prime window at the moment. So these are two that we definitely need to watch out for later on in the race.
And Leopard and Dralex are going to wind up in that traffic with all the medium tyre runners, because they're going to be pitting, not soon, like obviously not within the next few laps, but they'll be pitting at some point sooner than the medium tyre runners are. I'm assuming they're going to go onto mediums themselves. With the medium drivers also going back onto the softs. As far as I know, the super softs aren't exactly viable, as LK went onto the super softs. He did not go on the softs, and that put him right behind Drizzt's Revenge and Callum Teasdale. LK going for outright pace this race. I can't exactly blame him. He goes super wide as he just finally gets the DRS. I think that's kind of squandered his chance to go for a move, but Drizzt's Revenge does get moved on Callum Teasdale. Never mind, LK's going to go for it. Down the inside of Callum Teasdale. Can he get the move done? He's kind of boxed in from Drizzt's Revenge. Does get the move done, and now he's going to start gunning down the Pink American.
That was a brilliant move from LK there, and he's now going for the move on Drizzt's Revenge into turn 3 here, and he gets it done. Obviously, the fresher tyres, softer compounded tyres, he had the grip there, he easily gets that move done. They nearly went 3 wide into turn 1, that was absolutely brilliant.
With it looking like LK's doing a 2-stop, he's going to have an uphill battle to try and help this team championship succeed. Obviously, Dralex is helping. Getting the move done on Leopard, by the way, that's happening. Dralex just got the move done on the inside of turn 4. How do we miss that? They're going side by side up towards the double right-hander. This is for the World Championship. Dralex on the inside. Can he get the move done going down to the braking zone? He is in front of Leopard. It looks like he's got the move done. VSR Dralex is leading the Brazilian Grand Prix. VSR Dralex is leading the LCR World Championship.
If it stays like this, guys, we will have a new LCR champion for season 5. Dralex, sorry, I was not on board with that battle. I was kind of just looking at the gap thinking it's going to stay the same, but Dralex makes the move into turn 3. He thinks the time is now. He's made his move as he comes across the line.
And Dralex has got to run, because Leopard now has DRS, and the fact that Leopard was managing that gap without DRS, with Dralex having DRS, this battle is definitely not over, as Mulder finally comes to the pits, manages to make it 12 laps on those tyres. Maybe he's trying to just about get that one stop done, but again, massive news. Massive news if you're a fan of VSR Dralex, but not that great news if you're Leopard. Dralex gets the move done on track. Never mind on after the race or later on after penalties or whatever. He gets the move done on track. They both only got one warning each as well. This is all to play for. What you're seeing is what you get. VSR Dralex is leading LCR Leopard in lap 13 of the LCR Brazilian Grand Prix. And whew, oh boy, game on. As also, just to quickly mention, while the excitement is upfield, Waystall and Amaze have been battling pretty much non-stop since the start of the race, and they're continuing to battle now. Positions stay as they were, but for a second there, it was under a tenth between the Sauber of Waystall and the Red Bull of Amaze. So don't sleep on these two just yet.
Again, Amaze is another medium runner. He's only gonna get better as he goes into this race because he's going to be on the super soft tyre. I mean, most likely at the end of this race.
Bombs it into the second sector and just about caught that. He does get the move done on TOR Pepsi. He's really charging on those super softs, and it's interesting to note that LK pulled off an under on LCR Mulder. Mulder came out behind LK. Now it won't be much because LK's obviously doing a two-stop, but Leopard goes for the undercut as well. There we go. So LK managed to get the undercut on Mulder. Is trying to replicate the exact same thing, trying to get an undercut on VSR Dralex, because now he's going to have to try and gut it into the pits.
Yeah, so Dralex has got to gun it now as I'm on board with Mulder, just to see, as Leopard has come out. Where's he come out? P6. He's actually come out in some clear air. That's very, very lucky for LCR Leopard. He can get his tyres going, he can warm up, because he needs to absolutely gun it now if he wants to get that undercut on Dralex. The only saving grace for Dralex is that he will be on 1 lap fresher tyres as Callum Teasdale sets the fastest lap with a 1:10 flat there.
But does Dralex come into the pits? He looks like he's fading left. Yes, he does. Hopefully he gets it slowed down to the line. He doesn't get a penalty. That would be absolutely detrimental. Yes, he does. He manages to get it done. Does Johnny come into pits? No, he doesn't. Neither does Boris Letterbox. But that's because both of them are on medium tyres, as King Liam does not either come into the pits, and he's actually on the softs. So Dralex goes onto the medium tyres. He's now coming out. LCR Leopard's just coming up to the pit entry line. It's going to be very close. I'm not I think actually Leopard pulled this off beautifully as Dralex comes around to the final corner. Leopard's going around the outside. It's going to be very, very close, in fact, as Dralex goes through turn 2.
They could be side by side
Leopard
here.
goes through turn 2. They're going through turn 3 as Dralex got the run on Leopard. Leopard's going to have the massive exit, but it looks like Dralex has just about covered him off. Very close, but it's definitely not over yet. As Leopard's tyres are up to temperature, Dralex's tyres are going to be suffering for that little bit, but he's going to have that long game. Don't forget, Dralex is on fresher tyres, and Leopard could have him right now, never mind in a few laps' time, because again, Dralex's tyres are cold. Leopard could send it down the inside, but he's not going to go for it. Dralex even goes defensive in anticipation for it, sorry. But no, Dralex keeps his cool, keeps the lead of the race, manages just about to get that overcut working. But again, it's most definitely not over yet. Leopard's going to come at him, well, because he has to. There's no more pit stops. Leopard's got to get in front of Dralex to win this race.
And just remember, guys, just to note, obviously, we've still got a few guys who've started on the medium tyres. King Liam comes into pit finally after 14 laps on the soft tyre. As here we go, Leopard's got to run now. He's going to go to the inside for turn 1. His Dralex going to give it him. They're going side by side. Can Dralex hold it? No, he lets Leopard go. Oh, Dralex keeps his nose in. And Leopard, he's good. Dralex is going to have DRS here. Is he going to make the move?
Really gaining on him.
Into turn 3. Yeah, no, Leopard goes defensive. Oh, touching tyres. But Dralex thinks against it. He's got to remember, Leopard has to win this race. He doesn't have to win this race. As long as Leopard doesn't, he will be LCR World Champion.
Dralex is really taking advantage of that DRS and trying to close up as much as possible. Leopard has already seen that worst case scenario. He's let Dralex pass him on track. He managed to get the, I'm going to credit it, the undercut, helping him get that move done. But he did get the move done back. But he has let, even for a brief period of time, he has let Dralex into the lead of the race and in front of him. He's not going to want that to happen again. He's going to be absolutely pushing and getting as much out of that car as possible, be it the ERS or his tyres or his fuel or whatever. He's basically like a near-death experience, a bad vision of the future. He doesn't want that happening. He's going to do everything he can to prevent it.
We'll give him credit there as Boris he goes for the inside move. Boris is making the move on Gianni. He can't get quite close enough here. Saw him fade to the inside there. Looked like he was going to make the move, but he wasn't quite close enough. And that compromised his run through turn 2. And he's still not quite close enough to Gianni to get the move done. Gianni still stays in the lead of this race. These guys obviously yet to pit. I'm sorry, look at Dralex, he's brought the gap right down to Leopard. Now within 4 tenths, it was up at 8 tenths, but he's now brought the gap down as these guys are closing in on ESR Amazed, who's currently in P3 and yet to pit.
Let's think for a second, because Leopard and Dralex pitted on lap 12, I want to say, for those tyres. So that means that you're thinking about.
Sorry to put in Wastel and Drizit's Revenge going side by side through turn 2. Those are coming down to turn 3. Brad faces it. Oh, Brad not quite close enough. Brilliant racing from those guys side by side. Oh, Wastel has a little bit of a moment as they're going up the hill here. Can Brad get the run? He goes to the inside, shows his no, can't get the move done, but brilliant. Sorry to put in there, Apex. Just saw some green and red arrows keep changing, so went on board with them two going side by side through turn 1 and 2. Absolute brilliant racing from.
Well, we'll see who else goes side by side now, because as we go through the final corner, we've got Leopard going around the outside of VSR Amaze. He's going to want to get this move done nice and quickly. It looks like Amaze is just being a passenger. It looks like he might be letting Dralex through. Doesn't quite let Dralex does go around the inside. That will compromise his line, very much so, but he does get past, and I don't think he's lost too much time. If anything, DRS will help to recover it. But Gianni and Boris have both come into the pit, so they'll slowly return to their optimal position. Amazed did not pit, but I guess he had no choice because Gianni was ahead of him and he also pit. So unfortunately for Dralex, that meant he had to get it done the hard way, but he did get it done, stayed within the DRS. He didn't make it difficult for himself, so fair enough from Dralex. The fight's still very much on. I don't think Amaze didn't even really want to stay out there.
Yeah, I don't think he really wanted to get involved there, really. Wise move from the Scotsman. But right, we are back where we were before the pit stops. LCR Leopard leading this race.
But Leopard is now, I'd say he is massaging that gap. I know this is a race that's looking at the gap, but that gap is just all important. This whole championship, everything, every single lap we've done, every single word we've said, every single drop of blood, sweat and tears everybody's put into this league has led up to that little gap between Dralex and Leopard. Like, is it going to be in Leopard's favour? Is it going to be in Dralex's favour? Leopard has a single warning, and Dralex also has a single warning. Both of them gain the warning on the exact same lap. So, again, there's nothing to separate these two, and it's gonna as it stands. Again, there is nothing to separate these two because they'll be tied on points.
It'll be it's going to be tough. It's a pit we can't award 2 champions. There can only be one, sadly, because they're going to end up on the same points. So obviously, like you said, Leopard will win on count-back victories, because obviously Dralex, it took him till round 14 of the season to actually win his first race. Boris Letterbach sets the fastest time. I'm on board with ESR Maze, who is right up and gets the move done straight away on way, so that didn't take no time at all, as obviously Maze pitted on the previous lap. He came out in P8, but easily gets the move done on those soft compound tyres. Then LK goes in and pops the fastest lap with a 109.5. Sorry, as Gianni has made the move on Mulder further down for P3. He's got the move done. Sorry, I missed that. As they're right side by side, there's nothing to choose between the two drivers. And then there's Boris. He is eager. He said he wanted P4 in this race. He could get what he wanted. He is right behind Mulder now. But brilliant.
He's going to try and move into this hairpin. No, he doesn't. Not quite. He identifies that he's not quite close enough for it. Dralex has actually put the hammer down this lap and has gotten back into that DRS range. So again, it's not over, but he's got to be careful. If anything, he's just got to prioritise being clean. He doesn't want to. Turn 2 on this track, I'm sure you know, is the corner that will catch you out with corner cutting. No matter how clean you are for the rest of the lap, no matter how smart you drive through each corner, it's gonna be turn 2. If any corner is going to give you a penalty, it's going to be turn 2. As Boris Letterbox tries it around the outside of Mulder, but Mulder brakes just late enough. Boris even locks up. Worth mentioning that both Gianni and Boris Letterbox are on softs, fresher softs after Mulder started on the super soft tyres, so this could be easy pickings, but Mulder is not letting them by, as it's just very close between the pair of them. But Mulder manages to hold him off. It's not going to be very easy to make him move down in the second sector, so he could have it for this lap, but he's got to hold on for 12 more laps, including this one. So about 11.5 laps. As LK is also all over the back of Hayden. LK has made his second stop. I think we might have missed that. Onto the set of soft tyres, so now he's absolutely pushing for that last. Well, he has the last point pay position. Can he double his score? Not quite. He goes for the switch back through the double right-hander, but he doesn't quite make it stick. Hayden kind of has a weird line going through it. Maybe he can swoop back in, but not quite. Boris Letterbox still behind Mulder, and Dralex still just about hanging on to DRS from Leopard, but I think he might have just shaken him. There we go. Boris Letterbox gets a move down on Mulder. Nice and simple.
Yeah, easy done there. As Mulder's decided to pit, he's not obviously feeling those medium tyres at all, so he's decided to come in.
Dralex no longer has DRS.
No, but he did manage to, even with slipstream then, he did manage to get back within a second of Leopard. And Leopard again is still really having to manage his ERS. It was down below 10% again, but obviously he's harvesting now. So it's back up to the 20%, but yeah, Leopard's really struggling on his ERS. Dralex still has just under 50% left, so he's got a lot more than Leopard. And as the gap is literally, you can't. Can I just say, whoever wins the World Championship, there's literally been nothing to choose between them.
Hold on, just real quick, Pepsi and Mulder side by side. Mulder just come out of the pits directly side by side from TOR. Pepsi is not over for Mulder. He's gone from one battle straight into another, but he does get moved on Pepsi. Fair enough. Yellow flag for Visualize going off in turn 3. And once again, VSR Dralex, as he said, nothing to separate them. Back within DRS range. Mulder gets a time penalty. I've been flicking into the penalty screen every now and then, but I can confirm Leopard has one warning, Dralex has one warning. What you see is what you get. Leopard is leading Dralex in the World Championship. Wastel is being so defensive on LK right now. Just watching them go through the second sector together, and LK is he's driving behind Wastel. You can tell he has a very clear speed advantage with the soft tires, and Wastel just keeps not shutting the door on him, but just being in the way, just about. Like in a hairpin, he just stayed on the inside, and LK was like, oh wait, no, I guess I'll get out of your way. But now he's going to try on the inside through the final corner. He's not even going to give him the chance to go defensive into turn 1. LK's like, nope, I want this move, thank you very much, I'm going to get it done, thank you, bye. So there you go, LK up to 7th place, nicely done. Beat Wastel at his own game, caught him in a place he wasn't expecting, and now Wastel's falling into the trap of LCR Hayden as Mulder gets the fastest lap. Unfortunately dropped pretty much right out of this race, but now LK's turn to go really defensive into turn 4. Yes, he does. Wastel,
oh, they've touched!
There's a bit of a bonk, but unfortunately that's going to only be bad for Wastel as he loses out the position to LCR Hayden. He's gone from 7th to 9th in the space of a few corners. Good, hard fight between all 3 drivers. I know Hayden only got involved in the end, but I mean, he got a position. He had to get it somehow. Nicely done, lads.
It's literally Dralex is do or die now for Dralex as they head into the final 7 laps of this race. Dralex can see his title hopes slowly slipping away from him. Is there anything the Canadian can do to get back within DRS and make this move on Leopard?
If he can,
it's going to be
I just want to say this. If VSR Dralex has to unfortunately walk away from this championship as the runner-up, the thought that should be going through his head is he's had a rut in the middle of the season, you know. Germany, on the build-up to Germany, he was like, he wasn't sure if he wanted to continue racing, he wasn't sure if he could, keep fighting. But now we're here in the final round, and he's got so many people willing him on to beat Leopard. And even if he finishes second, he's finished the championship tied. Just on the poor virtue of countback, again, not a great middle season for him, but still tied in the championship. That's unbelievable. He's had such a massive comeback this season. And it leads you to wonder, what's going to happen next season? It seems like the way I've been looking at it, a lot of the late race moves have been from drivers on softs against drivers on mediums. But even in saying that, we've got King Liam on a set of mediums, really gunning it for Boris Letterbox. These two are right next to each other. Renault, for how long they have been all season, are going to be holding their breath. Boris Letterbox going mega defensive. King Liam manages to absolutely outbrake around the outside. Can he get the move done? Slight tap of the wheel from the 2 yellow cars, but Boris Letterbox just about keeps ahead, just about keeps the moves clean, as Hayden has also passed LK. The gap's already massive, so I'm not sure if LK may have had a moment, but we're not looking at that. We're looking at King Liam. He's trying it down the inside. He finds a space. He's going to go for it. Is he going to try for a switch back through the long left-hander? He is. But unfortunately, Boris Letterbox manages to cover it just about, and it looks like it's going to be even Stevens for now. He's going to knock on the door on the inside of the right-hander. Not quite. He is still behind Boris Letterbox, but you got to say that this move's probably going to be done at some point soon, surely.
Oh yeah, look, he's right behind him. He's going to have DRS here. He is sadly with yellow fuel. Yellow's in sector 2 and 3. I'm not sure what that's about. If you want to have a little check for
visualize down at the back in 13th, unfortunately.
Oh! Boris goes ultra defensive there. King Liam swoops round the outside. What a move by King Liam. Goes round the outside, but Boris is literally putting him through turn 2. They're getting... Oh, these two definitely are not teammates. They are fighting each other to the death as Hayden gets his second time penalty. As King Liam tries to do the switch back on Boris as they go up the hill, but no, Boris keeps the position.
I want you to look at the gap between LCR Leopard and VSR Dralex, because LCR Leopard has 2 warnings. Dralex has only the 1. LCR Leopard has 2 warnings. Now that gap has been steadily increasing over the past few laps, but as it is right now, if Leopard does get that final penalty, that's it. I mean, it is teetering on 3 seconds. It's just gone over the mark.
It's 3 seconds now. So.
But you can't. I mean, you still can't. Like, you still can't. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
There we go!
There it is.
Oh my God! Could there be a spanner in the works?
So
Could
all of
there
a sudden,
be a spanner in the works?
Just like that, VSR Dralex is on the cusp of an LCR World Championship. All he's got to do is get that 3-second gap. Well, he needs to get it under 3 seconds over the course of the next 4 laps, but it's going to be tricky. He's struggling with his ERS, he's struggling with his fuel, he's struggling with his car so much. He's just got to keep pushing, and Leopard's just got to keep pushing. These 2 drivers are separated by 3 seconds down the road, but a penalty is all it takes to put a spanner in the works, as you said, and the championship is back on. And speaking of back on it, so is King Liam versus Boris Letterbox. As Boris Letterbox pushes King Liam wide, King Liam is struggling to keep his car in a straight line right in front of Maze, manages to keep it in a straight line just about, but Boris Letterbox does defend off of King Liam. There probably is a few choice words spoken over the radio. Let's hope it's spoken in French, so we don't have to hear it. But yeah, Boris Letterbox pushes King Liam wide, and that's put ESR Maze back into the fray, and again, back into the fray is VSR Dralex, just like that, but it's a tenth between the 2 of them.
Yeah, there's nothing to choose between them. I was just about to say before Leopard got that penalty, he's going to have to be ultra cautious now with 2 warnings, and then boom, he got that 3rd. It's still a 10th between them. Dralex will probably not know that Leopard has a penalty.
It's floating around that second, isn't it? It keeps going like 3.095 and back up again. It's in Leopard's favour, but it's so close. I can't.
Look at that, 39,000, 34,000. Oh my God!
I can't keep watching.
It's under 3 seconds.
We got a battle on our hands here either way. Just to time us up for the last few laps, as Boris Letterbox is ultra defensive against King Liam 25. Is King Liam going to try around the outside? Yes, he does, but he isn't quite able to do it. Is he going to go for the switchback through turn 5? Yes, he is. Down the inside is King Liam 25. He's going to get in front of Boris Letterbox. Can he stick it around the outside with the double right-hander? He's going to have a task on his hand if he wants to, but he does just about do it. Boris Letterbox concedes defeat and is now falling into the traps of ESR Maze. Now, Boris is still in 4th, I should mention, because King Liam does have 2 penalties. But yeah, it's going to be very close between these 2 drivers.
That was brilliant racing from them 2 boys, pretty much side by side, the 2 corners. But that pass now, Liam's starting to pull a gap already, as the gap between Leopard and Dralex is just hovering around 3/10, because obviously we know he's got a penalty. There's 2 laps remaining. If I was Dralex, he needs to know that Leopard has a penalty.
Boris Letterbox has an absolute storm of a run on King Liam 25, but breaks way earlier than his teammate. Sorry, just to interrupt, but I just flicked over to Boris Letterbox. He was charging down the main straight. He isn't quite able to catch up to his teammate and get the move done just yet, but unfortunately it does leave him very, very vulnerable to ESR Maze, who's going to go back around the outside. Can he get the double move done? Are we going to go 3 wide? No, we're not. But ESR Maze goes late on Boris Letterbox, too late for King Liam 25. Pushes him off the track, but ESR Maze, he's going to get the move done. There's a bit of contact between the 2 drivers, but they keep it in a straight line. ESR Maze is past Boris Letterbox. Is he going to get past King Liam 25? It doesn't quite look like he's hanging around the outside. Still around the outside, but King Liam looks like he's got the move done. Not quite. ESR Maze back down the inside. He is not giving up whatsoever. King Liam is really struggling to keep his car on the track. Is ESR Maze going to get the move done around the outside? It's so close between these 2 drivers. They've been side by side since turn 4, but ESR Maze gets the move done.
Oh no, Maze!
But he gets pushed on the track by King Liam 25, suffers a 5-second stop go penalty. That is not going to be a happy Scotsman in that cockpit right now, but it doesn't matter about that right now. We're on to the final lap, but Boris Letterbox getting the move done around the outside of King Liam. Of course, King Liam's straight line speed was compromised by that contact with ESR Maze. Boris Letterbox, through all of that, the positions are still exactly the same. Boris Leopard is in 4th and King Liam's in 5th. ESR remains in 6th. It's a 4/10 gap between LCR Leopard and VSR Dralex. We're in the final lap of the final race of the season, and it looks like LCR Leopard has just done enough to get this championship under his belt. It's a 6/10 gap that's just hovering around 7/10. He's just about managed to pull out on this final lap.
Yeah, I think that is deal done. It's going to be crazy as Leopard comes up to the line here to win his 3rd straight LCR world title. LCR Leopard is your Season 5 champion.
What a race, what a season. Right up until the very end, 7/10 was all there was to it. A fantastic effort from VSR Dralex, but the man of the hour is indeed LCR Leopard, your first ever three-time LCR World Champion, with KLC Johnny having a bit of a quiet race, finishing in 3rd place. And Boris Letbox heads King Liam towards the line. He stays ahead of King Liam. And Mercedes are your LCR World Team Champions. So there we go. I'm out of breath. I need a drink.
To your 3-time LCR World Champion, the sweatiest of sweats, it is LCR Leopard. Tell us how you are feeling, my friend, right now.
Shaking, sweaty. Yeah, I know.
Well, we'll break it down for you, because obviously you've been pushed this season, this race as well, especially. I want to know what happened. What was your first thought when you got that 3-second time penalty right at the depth of the race?
Run. Panic. I mean, I knew I had the gap to him and I was eking it out slowly, so there was a little bit of confidence, but yeah. And I kind of, after a lap, I saw the gap was still the same, because it was like 3.1, so I knew if I made a small mistake, that moves Dralex into championship winning position. So I just was trying to push as hard as I could whilst making sure I hit all the apexes, which isn't easy.
It's a credit to both of you guys and everybody else who's taken part in this season. It's come down to the final race round. It's 7/10. That's it. That's the gap in the entire championship. But the book closes.
Surely that's got to be some kind of record for like anything. I don't like not even in real life as well. Like winning a championship on it was that close. You know what I mean?
Pure countback.
That's unbelievable. Yeah, but unbelievable from both of you.
I mean,
yeah.
the differences between the final race, Abu Dhabi last season, I had it all covered and just decided to start last for the fun of it and ended up winning the race. This time, yeah, not as easy. That's for sure.
You sweated like you've never sweated before.
There we go. But it's been a mega season all round. Also, credits to Dralex for his final, end of season. What was that form in the end of the season, Dralex? You went on, in Germany you were third, and then you went third again, then you went second, then second, then first, then second again. You just been on a podium streak.
I told you that comeback was happening.
It happened.
Your Twitter DMs. I called it.
It happened. It did happen. And of course, yeah. I mean, the other thing as well, Smith, we've noticed, no driver won 3 races in a row this season.
Yeah, I was just thinking that no one could break the curse of 3 in a row. And Dralex even said this last week. You said that last week, didn't you, Dralex? After we'd finished in Japan, you're like, the curse of 3 in a row, and you hope you could break it, but it was sadly not to be. But yeah, just one thing I'd like to say. Obviously, Nuthead isn't here, but I'd like to thank him for letting me join him for the last half of the season. It's been absolutely brilliant, and I can't wait to get back to Season 6, and just thank you, Apex, for joining me today, and being the fearless leader of LCR, and this league is probably, this is my favourite. Not gonna lie, it's amazing. So join, everybody, get involved next season. Take the fight to Leopard and Dralex. I'm sure they'll enjoy it. I'm sure they've enjoyed it this season, just it being them two. But I'm sure they wouldn't mind another person getting in on the
I
act.
think I'm alright.
You got your hands full.
Right, thank you guys. That is the last race of this season, sadly.
April 7th, we'll be back for round
we-
1 of season 6. Just saying, woo!